Hey guys, it's Eric and Karina.
HR.
And Eric, without no nick, this is no nickname Eric.
And welcome back to the Late Podcast. The law according to Eric. So today's theme, I put a spin kind of on the apologies gone wrong. I couldn't find a lot of those, but I did find funny ones with apologies in them, or like some of them are apologies gone wrong. But
Okay.
we'll see that. So,
all right. So this is unapologetic Eric.
Yeah, unapologetic Eric.
All right, fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me just say before we start, a couple of things. One, we want to extend our apologies to our audience. Like we didn't realize that we had a setting messed up, and the episode from Wednesday, which I actually thought was a pretty funny one.
It was. I know.
Yeah, it was really hard to listen to. So we've taken some steps to correct it, and we're doing a little bit of testing ahead of time. Hopefully, this comes out sounding okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate everybody's patience.
Yeah.
Second thing, I have to get serious for a minute and apologize to Dory, Dougie, Karen, Kevin, Evelyn, what's up, girl? Badanka Dory, Amy, Jessica, and all the Maj crews, because I completely forgot. It was a Valentine's retro episode or whatever, and I completely forgot to mention and shout out to the Midbar Maj crew.
Shout out to them.
So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what can I tell you? You know what it's almost like?
What's it almost like?
It's almost like forgetting that you have a cringy sister-in-law. The last episode about Valentine's Day,
right? You
could have brought it up so many times, but then you forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like that.
Almost like that. But you know what's fun here?
What's
that you're apologizing on an episode about about apologies gone wrong.
There you go.
Funny.
That's a good point. Fair. All right.
Exactly. All right.
Well, having said all that,
let's dive in.
Okay.
First title is, would I be the asshole for firing an employee over frequent apologies? This young girl has been working for me for about 6 months. She's good at her job and very lovely, but she apologizes constantly, and it's driving me crazy. Every little thing that happens, whether it has anything to do with her or not, pulls an apology out of her. She could be walking by and almost bump into me. Oh, sorry. The pen I use is out of ink. Sorry about that. Let me find you another one. It just makes me feel like a jerk that she needs to tiptoe around. I pulled her aside and I told her in a friendly way that rarely, if ever, does she need anything that she does requires an apology. She apologized and then apologized for apologizing again. And then, looking distraught, she took a 5-minute break outside. This has now caused a new issue because now when she starts to unnecessarily apologize, she'll catch herself and say she's working on that again. It's almost like she's short-circuiting. I can't be in a work environment where I'm always feeling like the bad guy, and I just don't think she can break this habit. Would I be the asshole if I let her go for this?
Yeah, a little bit. That's just my personal opinion.
Same. I mean,
this poor girl is so insecure. She's never going to get over it if you fire her.
Never. That poor girl's never going to get over this. Ever in her life.
You said she does her job well.
Would you fire me if everything was sorry?
No, but I'll tell you what. No, I'll be a little bit serious. It's possible that firing her might actually help her. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
If this is a truly deeply insecure person that is constantly concerned with approval from others,
right? She
may need this kind of kick in the ass to realize that that's not the best way to be, or to seek some kind of help.
Right.
I've known people that will just that. Now, for some people, it's just like an auto response. Oh, sorry. Let me fix it. Oh, no problem. Oh, sorry about that. There's really nothing to be sorry about. Like, hey, my lunch is cold. Oh, sorry. Well, you're not the DoorDash guy.
Right,
you don't have to apologize. But for a lot of people, it's just an automatic reaction.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put that much weight into it.
Right.
But the way this is being written, this is like the only thing she can say.
Yeah.
And she constantly
the only thing she says is sorry.
Right. But that's indicative of like HR was saying, there's probably a deeper insecurity.
Definitely.
So I wouldn't fire somebody over that. But I would probably in a way that wouldn't send them hanging from a tree.
Right.
Try to get them to look at why they feel compelled to constantly apologize, especially for things that they have no control over.
Exactly.
Oh, your pen's out of ink? That's nothing you have to be sorry about.
All right, let me get you a new one.
Right. Or how about, I'm sorry for not realizing the last time I wrote something and it was like almost empty,
Exactly.
Whatever. So I can't, he would. If I take it he hasn't fired her yet.
No, he's asking, would he be?
Yes. So Billy Boss, you would be. And not even a small one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is something she can control.
No.
Nor do I think it harms anything. So if she were dealing with customers on a regular basis, right, and you got feedback saying, hey, look, she makes me uncomfortable because she's constantly apologizing for, that'd be different.
Yeah,
right. But
exactly.
If this is just within an office, yeah. So the fact that he hasn't done anything yet, I'm not giving him any dingleberries. But if you choose, right, Billy, if you choose to fire over this, you're getting 4.
Yeah.
I could see where it would get frustrating. And without knowing if this, no, honestly, and without knowing if this affected customers or clients,
right.
It might be higher or lower. But for now, just based on what was written, 0 unless you do it, then it's 4.
Yeah.
Feldman scale, honestly, I think Boss Billy gets a 6.
Okay, for writing it on Reddit?
Writing it on Reddit and asking, would I be, and not handling your own, like, come on, pal. Is this really a Reddit-worthy problem? I mean, think about this,
I remember someone in the comments asked him, like, do you really think firing her is, like, the only option? And he was like, well, I mean, I'll write her a nice review, or, like, I'll give a nice, little, like, if they ask, he said, I'll give a good review of her. And they were like, that's still, like, you're giving a good review. You're saying she's a good employee.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that there's a reason he's so extremely bothered by this. I mean, it does seem like a pretty extreme reaction.
Let me ask an honest question. And I'm serious. I just thought of it. What would you rather have? If you were an employer or a supervisor, would you rather have a subordinate that over-apologized or didn't apologize for anything?
No,
I was thinking the same thing. Isn't that better than someone who doesn't give a shit?
Right, because you know what that's almost like?
What is it almost like?
It would almost be like a cringy sister-in-law that never apologized for shit.
Exactly.
Ever.
Exactly.
And in fact, expects you to apologize for shit she does wrong.
Exactly.
We almost like that.
Almost like that.
Going full steam today, buddy. I missed last week, sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like you said, zero dingleberries as of right now, but if he would do it, I think I'll give him 4 too. So
yeah. No, this girl, she cares very much about what she's doing, and when she gets a little more confident, she'll probably be an amazing employee.
Yeah.
So it's a little kind of short-sighted to get rid of her.
Exactly. I agree.
I'd a little off topic. I'd be curious, like as an experiment, to see like how much she apologizes for things that are so off the wall random.
Right. I know.
Yo, Lucinda, you forgot to pick up my dry cleaning. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I want to, yo, Lucinda, you forgot to wear that low cut skirt. I like it or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, boss. Although that's a one-way ticket to, the unemployment line myself, I'm just saying. Exactly. Okay. Sorry. Never mind. You know what? I'm sorry for saying that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next one. Title is, am I the asshole for not accepting my son's apology after a particularly nasty fight? My 40 female ex-husband, Greg, and I split up 15 years ago when our son, Troy, was barely a year old. Greg and his parents loathe me, and now my husband of 13 years, and my now husband of 13 years, Michael. They have told Michael during custody exchanges that it would be best if he left, that no one likes him, and that he'll never be Troy's real dad, which he does not try to be. They've made comments about my appearance, my job, my profession, etc., and all in front of Troy. It came to a head in 2021 when Troy said that during every Sunday supper they have with Greg's parents, his mom, Susan, would turn it into a hate hour. With everyone at the table, Susan would start in on what a fat cow I am, how I'm a stupid bitch, a horrible mother, etc. Troy and Greg participated in this, laughing at all of her cruel jokes, and did nothing to stop it. I have made it a point to never speak ill of Greg or his family to Troy. Last night at dinner, Troy said that he's been having issues with a classmate. He didn't tell me because he hoped by ignoring it would go away. Well, after much back and forth, I told him to talk to someone at school or I would. Troy exploded and screamed, "Why can't you be like Dad? He lets me fight my own battles. You don't love me. If you loved me, you would let me fight. I hate you." So I told him, your dad not doing anything when his kid is being bullied is not what a good parent does. Ignoring this will not work. And you don't ever say I don't love you ever again. I went hungry so you could eat, whereas you sat there and made jokes calling your own mother a fat bitch. I know you hate me. It's obvious. I got up and left for a walk, and I know I responded badly, but he's got a mean streak, and I'm tired of being his punching bag. I'm always his target. And then she gave like an example, like if I forget something, he'll always reply with, "And to think you graduated at the top of your class, you must have cheated or something." When I came home, Troy wanted to talk to me. He told me that he and his friends show affection by giving each other shit, and that's all he knows. He apologized for flipping me shit and said that he loves me. I told him, I don't accept your apology. You're very cruel on purpose, and if you loved me, you wouldn't spend hours with Susan calling me a stupid fat bitch, week after week. That isn't love, that's pure hatred. Now go get ready for bed. Troy walked off, and this morning he hasn't said a word to me. I'm wondering if I took things too far, and maybe I owe him an apology now.
Yeah, I think you do. He was trying. He was reaching out. When you reject someone like that, when they try to make amends, it's not going to go well. They're not inclined to come back to you again.
No.
I can tell that from personal experience. Like when someone says like basically fuck you, then the kid is just gonna he's gonna think he was right about everything he thought about you.
Exactly. It's hard because I feel like I understand where she's coming from, and I think that she took her anger out on the wrong person. Because
yes, I agree.
She's mad, and I'm sure it does anger her that her son sits around and also laughs at the jokes that her ex-mother-in-law is saying that she's a fat cow and her job's this and all of that shit. So I understand she was upset, and maybe when he threw all of that, like yelled at her about, he doesn't love him and all of that, it kind of just came out and exploded. And I think she realized that she was wrong for saying all of that. But at the same time, her son sounds like an asshole. Like,
unfortunately, it does sound like the grandparents are molding in, into junior asshole. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with everyone sucks on this one. That's gonna be I don't think there's a one asshole. I think all of them are assholes and they all suck. That's the position I'm taking.
As someone with a teenage son, I can tell you that their moods and behaviors are so volatile at that age.
Right.
And yes, he's probably being somewhat influenced. I doubt he really believes that. I think he's blending in and trying to just feel comfortable with the surrounding he's in, and rather than create controversy. Mama Lucinda fucked up.
Yeah.
That kind of guilt trip on a kid, whether they deserve it or not, you got to stop and, just take into consideration what environment he was coming out of, what he's reacting to.
Yeah.
He's already kind of embarrassed about the bullying situation or uncomfortable with it. Nobody wants to have their mommy come into school, especially when you're middle school age or older.
Exactly. Yeah.
And her sort of, that's pure hatred. I'm sorry. And I starved so you could eat. Fuck you.
So you
no, you didn't. Right.
And eat with Susan.
Come on.
That one was crazy.
That part that's a throwback to, I used to walk 8 miles to school every day in the snow. Give me a fucking break. Okay. And if this bitch looks anything like I think she does, she didn't skip a fucking meal.
Oh my God.
Hey, there's a reason that the entire other side of the family.
We don't know that.
No, I'll tell you what we know. I know the whole entire other side of the family calls her a fat pig. Maybe there's something to that.
Susan hates her.
Or maybe, okay, so you could call her a fucking bitch and still hate her, but there's a reason why constant descriptors are fat and cow. That's not an accident. Okay, so this is probably a big bitch who didn't miss any meals.
We don't need a body shame.
Exactly. We're not going to body shame.
Oh, wait, what? Lucinda, you don't like how that feels? Right? When someone comes down on you for something, no, you don't like that?
Well, that's why she exploded, because her son was coming down.
Well, guess what? I think she needs to get a hold of her own inner child. Right. And calm the fuck down and not treat her kid like that. Even if her kid deserves it. You know how many times my son deserved it, but I held back because I know what it's like to be a teenage boy. They don't always have self-control. Their testosterone's going all over the place. Right. They want to impress. They want to blend in. There's peer pressure, all these things. And moms should kind of be at least somewhat cognizant of that. So even if you're not at that level, like you don't have to use all the cool buzzwords that they use, like dead ass or whatever, but you should at least know kind of what that feels like, because fuck, you were a teenager once too, you fucking fat bitch. You remember? I'm just saying, what? I have no doubt there's a fucking heifer.
But that doesn't mean her son can be an asshole. Like you said, yes, teenagers can be mean, right. And I understand that.
But he's reacting to her basically stepping in and doing something he doesn't want her to do or not feel comfortable with her doing. He doesn't want to be embarrassed at school.
Well, the problem is he's kind of proving the, asshole grandparents.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
By saying what she said.
Exactly.
And I think she realizes she's screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll give her that much. She at least, she has some understanding that she messed up and that she needs to apologize.
Yeah, exactly. So I at least side with her for that, she realized after she was like, okay, I was wrong for that. And I think I do have to apologize to him. But that's why I said, I think everyone sucks here. I think, mom's the asshole, but the son's an asshole too. So.
And by the way, when the son does apologize the next morning or whatever, that's when mom should have sat him down and said, look, I understand there's a lot going on, right? But when mom doubled down on it and basically took that as an opportunity to kind of like step over his throat, because that's what that was. That was like her exerting now power and control over him. Yeah.
Mom needs to apologize, admit she was wrong.
Yes. And make him at least feel validated that he,
and explain why she's feeling.
And I think she also should tell them, like, what you did was wrong. Yeah. Like, that's why I reacted to that, because of it wasn't right. But the way you spoke to me was not right.
Yeah, you should let him know how much it hurts when he talks shit about her.
Yeah, but what you don't do is what she did.
Yeah, no.
So I'm going to award Fat Lucinda 4 dingleberries.
We don't know if she's really
yes,
fat.
she is. As far as I'm concerned, she is. I'm going to award Fat Lucinda 4 dingleberries for essentially emasculating her son and making him feel even worse after he tried to apologize and accept take responsibility for his behavior. And I'm giving her a 2 on the Feldman scale for even putting it out there and then acting as if she's justified and repeating the vile thing she said to her child.
I'm going to give everyone 5. Mom gets 5, son gets 5, Greg gets 5, Greg's mom, Susan, gets 10. So that's where I'm standing.
Yeah, the head asshole here.
Yeah.
So, you know what's interesting? No, I'm serious. We don't know if the ex-mother-in-law is completely incorrect. Maybe she is a cunt. Maybe she's bitchy and mean. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, because remember who's writing this.
Right. No, I understand that. But if the mother-in-law is talking shit about her all the time, no decent person does that.
I agree, but I think it's telling that there's selected excerpts from things she's said that are being used to sort of quantify the position she's taking in this post. But we don't know if there's more to this. We don't know if there's other history between them. We don't know if they have big fights.
With all the story.
No, but I understand. Yes, but it's not always right to judge just on what they get. Part of what we do as a lawyer. But no, I understand for the podcast, but I can't change the way my mind is trained to think. And we're often like lawyers are trained to look like peel back the layers and try to get to the root of things. And we just don't know if there's more to it. Doesn't justify speaking that way in front of her son when she's not there to defend herself. That's what I actually had the more issue with. Not the word she's saying, the fact that she's doing it sort of on the sly.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of just, you want to say something, you go face to face, I can take it. Right. Or, maybe we'll fight. I don't know, but it's better than manipulating, a child behind my back. But again, there's probably a lot more to this family dynamic that we don't know.
I mean, but I like you said, it could be a lot more, but I honestly just think the ex-mother-in-law's a bitch, especially how she talks to her now husband, telling him you should just leave. Nobody likes you. Like, what does he dating her have to do with the mother-in-law? Nothing. Yeah. So I just think the mother-in-law's a bitch. The ex-mother-in-law's a bitch.
Could be.
So. All right, next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Title is, Am I the asshole for refusing to attend an apology dinner after my mother-in-law called me a bad mother at my son's funeral? I lost my son to congenital heart disease, and he did not survive the open heart surgery at the age of 1 year and 6 months. Everyone kept telling me things would get easier, but I know no much time goes by, I'll still be missing my baby. Mother-in-law and I were in constant conflict. Things have always been bad between us, but in those months, we reached our limit. She kept getting involved in my son's treatment, criticized every decision I made, claiming I didn't know how to handle my son's illness. We even went low contact, but she kept causing issues occasionally. My husband was torn between our son's illness and his mother's issues. When my son passed away, she came to the funeral and caused a scene. She used the fact that everyone was there so she could say it was my fault that my son was born sick and I didn't take care of him properly, and that I didn't listen to her when she suggested other ways to treat his condition, and that I was the one who took their grandchild away from them and caused them heartache. She then loudly called me a bad mother at the funeral. My mom and sister responded by telling her to leave. My husband was sitting down crying, and she then went to tell everyone I kicked her out as a way to hurt her feelings, and that I lied that I convinced my husband to ban her from visiting her grandson's grave. My husband later sent a side of the family an email talking about my mother-in-law's behavior during and after our son's illness and telling them that he no longer will be seeing her. We haven't seen his mom in 1 year and 8 months now, and now I am 3 months pregnant. No one knew, only my sister-in-law, but word got out. Though we told her not to say anything. Week later, I found out the family members were saying that I was invited to a dinner hosted by mother-in-law so she could both apologize in front of the whole family and settle this issue before the next baby is born. They said mother-in-law was regretful and offered to financially provide for her. But I refused. But my husband surprisingly wants me to go. I had his grandparents calling me, telling me that I'm a person with a good heart and forgiveness is something that I'm capable of giving. I told them that I would never be sitting at the same table with the person who called me a bad mother at my child's funeral. My sister said this change of heart from mother-in-law is probably because of the new baby. It could be, but I insisted that I won't come. They're saying I'm making it hard for everyone to move on and move past from this unresolved pain, and I should really just go. Am I the asshole for not accepting to go to her apology dinner?
Oh God, I can't believe the mother-in-law said that at the grandchild's funeral to the mom. I can't even imagine the level of pain and hurt. And rage.
I wouldn't go to this dinner.
Yeah, and it's a mother-in-law. It's not a mother. It's a mother-in-law.
It's a mother-in-law. Exactly. I wouldn't be going to this dinner, and honestly, I'd be really upset if I was her, that my husband is wanting me to go to this funeral. I get that's his mother and all, but he was also there at that funeral and saw how she was treating him. And the fact that he wasn't the one to stop his mom in any of this just lets me know that the mother-in-law is used to getting what she wants and people let her in her life and that she just acts like this at all times. I would not be going to this dinner. I would never speak to her again. So no.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree. Mm-hmm. I think the husband really, well, I mean, he's in a hard place. It's his actual mom, but he needs to understand what he's feeling.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just get over this.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
Yes, I have some thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever decision she makes, she will not be the asshole.
No. Yeah.
But I think she should go.
You think she should?
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
But not because she doesn't want to be the asshole or anything like that. The answer truly depends on what her ultimate goals are going forward.
Mm-hmm.
If she has a desire to unite the families, both sides, and try to live and let live, move on, maybe even take an opportunity to set some boundaries, then it might be worth doing. Okay. Because a new child should bring joy.
Right.
It's going to already be hard enough with a deceased child and all the things that went on. And rather than harp on those moments, you could potentially bring everybody together and have a more united family for the new baby.
Right. On
the other hand, and you're probably right, if she hadn't been pregnant, this wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't have reached out. There would be no closure. And mother-in-law was more than happy to let this keep going. There's a part of me, it's like, you know what? If yesterday this was not an issue for you, why is it today? Just because now I'm pregnant? Fuck you.
Because now you
if you really cared and you wanted to resolve the issues of the past, you could have reached out a year ago or whatever.
Right.
But again, it also, you have to take into account the other people that may or may not be affected by this, mainly her husband, because it's his mother, not mother-in-law.
Right.
His father, he has grandparents, I guess, so the child will have great-grandparents. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider.
Right, right.
And I don't mean this in a judgy way, but if Lucinda just wants to be the bigger person, I think she could use this opportunity as a platform to not only voice her feelings over how she was made to feel and why, but also show that she's the bigger, better person because by willing to look past it. And, on the other, but I would not blame her, nor would I be for a lack, nor would I lack understanding.
Yeah.
If she was like, fuck you, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So
would Eric go?
Yeah, I probably would. But let me preface it by saying I would only do it ultimately for the benefit of my wife at the time or the future child. I may never develop any kind of bond with my in-law after that.
Right.
My in-laws and I were not close, my ex-in-laws, but we weren't adverse.
Right.
Just they lived 9,000 miles away and they were divorced, so I didn't really know them very well. But the point is that I wouldn't do it for myself. And I don't believe I would ever have that bonded relationship, but I would do it so that there would be harmony within the whole family. Yeah. I believe I'm capable of just being civil,
amicable,
around the person. And, I could say, hi, how are you? And, if we're at family events or functions and
but you're
whatever.
not going to go out of your way.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I need to pause. All right. Sorry about that. We had to take a quick break. So again, I'm not awarding. I could award dingleberries all day long. Mother-in-law can get 10.
I'm giving her
double
10,
Lizzo.
Yeah.
But this almost feels like too serious of a topic to, yes, it's a 0 on the Feldman scale for doing that at a grandson's funeral. It's a 10 dingleberry, double Lizzo at, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's such a tragic situation. Like, I don't even feel like making fun of it. It's just kind of.
But the mother is definitely not the asshole for not going. If she chooses not to go.
I'm saying whatever her decision is, I don't think she's the. You can justify the decision, whatever it is. There's justification on either way, either side.
I agree.
So, I get it.
Moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one. Title is: Am I the asshole for not accepting an quotes apology gift that seemed racist? My husband and I were at his family's annual giant egg hunt. We're talking 300 to 400 people, friends, family, the works. Nora, my husband's ex, known her for never missing a beat to mention her Irish heritage and for being, let's just say, overly enthusiastic about giving kids Easter gifts. That's what she's known for. This year, she gives my daughter, the only biracial child, I'm black, my husband's white, a monkey stuffed animal. Every other kid got bunnies, ducks, and chicks, you name it. except one kid who asked for a monkey, and that's the only reason he also had one. My husband, bless his soul, confronted Nora, asking why our daughter got the monkey. Nora, wide-eyed, pulls out, "You don't think I'm racist, do you?" act, even turning to me for the first time ever, trying to find sympathy or validation, I guess. I was like, "Why are you crying? You're the one who gave my daughter the monkey." And in the midst of this, Nora has the audacity to tell me that I should be grateful my daughter even got anything at all from her. And that's when I lost it. If you actually cared about her, you wouldn't have been so thoughtless with your gift choice. Nora then turns this into a sob story about how she can't have the children calling us selfish right in the middle of this drama. My father-in-law, who's usually the embodiment of chill, steps in and tells Nora that she's acting like a lunatic and she needs to leave. But Nora did not stop there. She left all right, but not before calling me every name under the sun as she's escorted out by my husband and his dad. She started screaming at me that I'm a terrible mother and basically making a scene. Later, she messaged my husband trying to guilt trip him about choosing me over her. His response? I definitely didn't make a mistake marrying my wife. The next day, Nora then launches a social media post claiming she's the victim of a racist accusation. She tried to paint herself as this angel who was just trying to give out cute gifts, but was yelled at and kicked out. She even started harassing me over Facebook Messenger, calling me names to the point where I had to block her. But the friend requests and strange messages just kept coming. So Reddit, am I the asshole for standing my ground and refusing to accept what I saw as a racially insensitive gift? Am I overreacting? Maybe I came off too headstrong.
Nora sounds crazy.
Nora, that monkey was on purpose. Nora did that shit on purpose.
It's very suspect if all the other kids got like ducks and bunnies.
Exactly. There was one kid and he said, "I want a monkey."
Yeah.
The other ones all got bunnies. They all got whatever the fuck.
If all the kids got bunny or monkeys, that wouldn't be a big deal.
Exactly.
But you single out the kid, there's something there.
Exactly. That was racist. Fuck Nora. I don't think she was wrong for that.
I'll tell you let me start off by saying that Eric has a solution to this problem, and I can give you the answer to that right now, how this could have been avoided. Ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. All racist Lucinda had to do was say, when she bought the monkey for the one kid that wanted it, it was a 2-for-1 sale. And she didn't even think about it. She just grabbed the other one and gave it to her. If she would have just said that, and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it. Oh my God. It was just, because buy one, get one free. It was BOGO.
It still wouldn't have worked out because she chose to give the monkey to the only biracial kid there.
No, I know, but I'm saying
that's why it still wouldn't have worked out.
No. But I'm saying at the very least, she would have looked a little bit less like it was intentional.
Yeah,
yeah. You'd be like, and then she could have.
Her reaction, like,
no, but that's no. Okay, that's what changed it.
And that's what it is. Her first thing was, "You don't think I'm racist, do you?"
That's why I'm saying if she would have been like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about it."
Yeah.
And you know what? That may be a tiny bit believable, especially if she never exhibited any racist tendencies in the past. Because truthfully, non-racists wouldn't think of it like that.
Exactly. That wouldn't be their first response. Like, she'd be like, "What do you mean?" Like, I thought the monkey was cute.
That was the first thing that
came
to her mind.
Right. And so,
you don't think I'm racist, right?
So Irish Pride Lucinda is clearly, got the fucking Celtic crosses on her back, right? And she's just pretending. She's like straight out of fucking prison gang. Like that's prison gang behavior.
Like, who does this?
Right. And then to go on and make a whole big scene. Yeah. No. Now the question is biracial baby Lucinda's mom the asshole?
Yeah. Like for not accepting the gift. Because they basically said that she started this whole thing by not accepting the thing.
No, she's not the asshole for that. Because she rightfully took offense because there was probably some subconscious undertone.
Definitely.
Even if racist Lucinda didn't like consciously mean it. There's something there. Okay. So, and that's why I'm saying the only possible way out of it would be like to act so oblivious. Like, oh, I would never in a million years think that. I'm sorry. It was buy one, get one. And I just figured 2 birds with one stone. And that, it would be, let me just tell you, this was a little girl, the biracial.
Yeah.
It'd be way worse if she dressed the little monkey up in a dress, like in a.
She would have got her ass beat. That's what Nora would have got her ass beat.
My brother has a biracial niece. Right? And my point is, I would never see him doing that.
No, exactly. Yeah,
no, because he would never buy her anything. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
There it is. Exactly.
I'm just joking. Right? She's technically as much family as everybody else, right?
Exactly.
At least according to her cringy mom.
And your dad's granddad.
That's right. She's my niece and also a grandchild.
Exactly.
Right. Forgot about that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna give Mama Lucinda 0 dingleberries.
0.
I think she's probably justified in how she felt. And I don't think she prolonged or provoked the rage. I think racist Lucinda did. And I think maybe it's clearly one of those things where you have to be there.
Yeah.
But it might be a situation where she did that to try to go so over the top, like to make people think she was so offended at the idea that she could even be like that, because that's a strategy. Like people get like, I would never, how could you even, and like make a whole big thing about it.
Oh yeah. Karen's love to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like that might have been the only other reason she like blew up that way, is to try to make it so hard to believe. But you know what? The gift spoke for itself.
Exactly.
Honestly, in this case.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm giving zero dingleberries to Mama Lucinda. I will give racist Lucinda a 2 on the Feldman scale for doing that. I give her
5. I give her 10 dingleberries for that too, though.
Well, but I know
that's 10.
Yeah, she's a full double Lizzo. I agree. But the Feldman I think is worse.
Yeah, there was no shame.
Pretty fucking shameless.
Yeah,
to give a biracial kid a stuffed monkey,
and your ex's daughter at that.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I think you get 5 dingleberries for the monkey, and then 5 dingleberries for your crazy reaction, doubling down on your assholeish behavior.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. All right. Next one?
Yes.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my dad and his family that their apology is meaningless to me? I, 20 male, moved out of my dad's house when I was 16 and I went to live with my maternal grandparents. The reason for this is they chose my dad's second wife over me. I was 6 when I lost my mom and 8 when my dad met Diane. I never liked Diane. Initially, it was because I saw her presence as being disrespectful to my mom. I was a kid, a little boy who just lost his mom. But Diane showed me early that she did not like mentions of my mom. She said she never said it to my dad or his family, but just to me. She'd say it hurt her feelings when I would talk about my mom around her, like my mom was somehow better than her or that I would rather have my mom back. I told my dad and the extended family, and they were just like, oh, don't be silly. This is just because you don't like your dad moving on. Over the following few years, my dad and Diane got married and they had children together. And Diane would tell me how much she hated that my dad's family missed my mom and how they spoke about her on occasion. She said we were all supposed to be hers now, not my mom's. The more I spoke out, the more dad would tell me I was trying to ruin his new happiness and that it was cruel to expect him to stay alone forever. I even showed them a video I took of Diane making annoyed and disgusted faces and rolling her eyes when my mom was mentioned. And I was told that she knew I was filming and she was just sick of my shit. My dad agreed to let me go at 16 because I told him I would not try to get along better with Diane and I wanted no part of his family anymore. Well, 2 months ago, Diane exposed herself to the family and really showed them how she felt about mom. One of my cousins was celebrating her birthday and it was one of the milestone birthdays and mom was mentioned because that was my cousin's godmom. Diane went off about how she hated my mom and she was glad that she was dead and she wishes she could erase her from everyone's memory and a bunch of other stuff. My dad and his family all came crawling back and sent me messages apologizing to me. I ignored all of them until it got so overwhelming that they all got together while my dad called my grandparents to talk to me. They apologized again and again, and when I said nothing right away, they told me that I should accept their apology and talk to them. This is when I told them that their apology is meaningless to me. They told me that I shouldn't say that and that I'm being petty because they're trying to make amends. My dad said nothing was so bad that they couldn't make up for it, and I said it was still meaningless. They ended the call pissed off at me saying that I was being childish. Am I the asshole for this?
Well, I can understand why you have feelings. I mean, it's got to be a little bit gratifying that they're finally seeing what you've been trying to get them to see all along.
Exactly.
But that the hurt and the anger is still there that they didn't believe you.
Exactly. Yeah. Would you accept the apology?
I don't know. I'm not. To be honest, I'm really not sure.
I don't think I would. Just because he tried so many times to just be like, hey, like I even got you proof. Like I have a video of her doing this. I have this. And you guys defended this woman against your own blood. You guys defended this woman against someone who just lost his mom. And you guys didn't care when I left. No one reached out to me when I left and I had to come live with my grandparents. Now that you guys see what an asshole she is, now you guys feel bad. And that's what you're apologizing. Because if she would have never showed her ass like that, they would not apologize to him. So I wouldn't take that apology. It's meaningless too. They made their bed and now they're going to lie in it because they did this.
Yeah. I can't imagine like not listening to your grandchild. Like, how do you not?
And like everyone, your son, it was his dad, his grandparents, all the extended family. No one believed him. And that's the saddest part. So yeah, I don't think he's the asshole. I wouldn't accept their apology either. And they could all go to hell. I'd tell them, well, you could all die in hell, rot in hell and hang up. And you're going to have a different opinion.
Eric's all pro family.
Well, it's a harder episode in a lot of ways because much of this behavior is abhorrent.
Yeah.
I mean, no, honestly, it is truly disturbing and bordering on disgusting. But it's hard for me to completely ignore efforts of reconciliation.
Right.
Right. I believe in making amends when necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in taking personal responsibility for mistakes.
Yeah.
I've been on the short end of that more than once, where I've had to basically fess up or deal with something, even if I didn't think I was completely at fault. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just have to accept, right, and move, and that's the best way to move on.
Yeah.
But I can't place my own values on somebody's situation, especially one like this, because that's really extreme behavior, and not everybody will be that willing. And here's, maybe this is a bit more insight to me, but there's a lot of times I would rather just kind of smile and say, okay, knowing that I'm not going to have the same kind of relationship I had in the past, but just to keep things kind of, smooth, because life's too short. Now, I say that fully knowing that when I do latch on to a grudge, it's very hard for me to let it go.
Yeah.
And I've been known to like grind someone down to the very pulp if I feel it's justified. And I do that in law practice, but it's truly rare when I have to get to that zone.
Yeah.
But when I am at a point where now I don't like, there's no more goodwill.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't like being like that, and I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
It's not my persona, and I don't like
it's not who you are. Yeah.
Right. And so I don't like to live private life that way. Yeah. I don't like to be in my professional career. I try not to be that way.
Right.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't possibly fathom going through what she did and dealing with all that. And again, what I would do is just different. So again, I would go full 5 dingleberries for the family for what they did. I can give them one dingleberry retraction, in mitigation for them trying to make amends and accepting responsibility and saying we're wrong. But at the end of the day, that's all they can do. Yeah. They cannot force someone to forgive them. They cannot force a relationship to come back or to restart or to
after
repair.
4 years, no.
After any time. It's both sides have to be amicable to it. And if they're not, but then you have to also be prepared to say, I did what I could. I'm comfortable with the olive branch that I put out, and your choice if you want to take it or not. And that's it. Right. And then you got to move on. Yeah. So I know it's not exactly the answer that everybody thought, but that's truly my take on this. It's just, it's an unfortunate, and people let things escalate sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, my teenage son does this all the time, but I see this with a lot of people. They take positions. I've done it before myself. And then you take such a hard stance that you can't crawl back out of it. You're kind of stuck.
You have to stand on it.
Right. Yeah. So you paint yourself in a corner, and now it's like, oh fuck. Like I have tenants now in this rental house. I just went fucking nuts on them the last couple of days for various things. But now I've just always got to be that guy. Yeah. Because I realize that if I give them an inch, they're going to take 30 feet. Yep. So like I have to constantly be right. Yeah. So here's an example. This is happening while we're talking. There was like a little leak in a faucet. So we sent the handyman to fix it yesterday, and the guy was there fixing stuff. Apparently he didn't fix it right. So the tenant just called him back on his own without telling us. Right. And then let us know later, oh yeah, I'm having the handyman come back. What the fuck are you? Like, you paying him or are we? Right. Right. What if he's not the right guy for this? What if I need a regular plumber instead? You're like, how fucking dare you? It's supposed to be your decision. This is the same tenant that brought a dog without asking us and no pet deposit. Just said, fuck it. I'm just, because the lease doesn't say no pets. Okay. But the lease doesn't say yes pets. Oh, and I'm trying to, and it's so bad because the guy's foreign. I'm not going to say what he is, but he's such a fucking asshole. And he was like, well, if it doesn't say pets, it's okay. Oh, okay. By that logic, so you can bring in a snake and a monkey and a leopard, and a fucking bobcat, right? Because if it doesn't say no pets, right? Well, animals and pets are different. Are they? Because they're all not human. They're still like animals. Dickhead. No, that's what I mean. Like dickhead. All of them are animals. The only difference is you domesticate one of them. No, and then I'm like, okay. So if the lease doesn't say you can't set fire to the house, does that mean you can set fire to are you kidding me? Yeah. There's nothing more upsetting. This is my public service announcement for the day. Sorry, you got me started. There's nothing more upsetting than trying to pick a fight with a lawyer, thinking you're like a lawyer when you're not. Internet lawyers are the most annoying. They're the worst of all. Ones. Yeah. And to any client we have that. They all do that. It's just one more than others, one especially. But the whole point is, please do me a favor. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to mislead. You want to look shit up on yourself, fine. But do me a favor, please. Don't send me the fucking Google AI that says, well, California law says, no, it doesn't. Exactly. Please. Nothing more upsetting than that. Sorry. Back to the dingleberries. Are we done? I think we were done. Yeah. Okay. Right? All right, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. This is going to trigger me all day. Me neither. No, I'm getting these because I'm getting these fucking text messages. And, okay. Anyway. Next one? Yeah. Okay.
Am I the asshole for asking my husband to stop apologizing to his daughter because it makes everyone else uncomfortable?
Okay. More apologies.
More apologies. That's the episode. My husband has a daughter, we'll call her Ava, from a previous relationship. He was pretty young when he had her, and the relationship with her mother was toxic, and neither of them were able to give her much financially due to their ages. When she was around 14, 15, he married me, and her mother married her stepfather. We had 2 daughters together, and her mother and stepfather had 1 daughter. At this point, my husband was much more established, and her stepfather had money, so her sisters did have a different childhood than Ava did, and I understand why that upsets her. This has clearly weighed on Ava over the years, and she seems to hate her sisters, or at least wants nothing to do with them. I understood this when she was younger, but she's in her 30s now, and to be honest, it bothers me. My husband feels immense guilt over this and frequently apologizes to Ava. I'm talking about every time one of our daughters gets something, he feels the need to apologize to her. It makes me feel like everything really is about Ava and never just about the other girls. Also, Ava gets annoyed when he apologizes and says some variation of the same thing about how her childhood didn't matter, that her husband gives her whatever she wants, and her marriage is all that really matters to her. And that answer always hurts my husband's feelings, and then the cycle just repeats. We are currently throwing a sweet 16 for our oldest, and he is clearly wrecked with guilt. Ava?
He?
Yeah, the dad.
Oh, because I was like, guys don't have sweet 16s?
No, the dad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ava came over recently, and I asked him not to apologize to her over this. I said at some point, he just has to let go and stop apologizing, and she needs to work through her feelings. If it still bothers her, I'm totally not sure. I asked him to challenge himself to not apologize for the sweet 16. He told me to mind my own business and got defensive. During dinner, the venue for the Sweet 16 was brought up, and he couldn't help himself. He apologized that she didn't have a more elaborate birthday parties as a child, and this really annoyed me, and after dinner, I told him I was disappointed. He blew up and said I was selfish and heartless for not seeing how traumatic this would be for her, and that he can apologize as much as he wants. Am I the asshole for this?
I think you're noticing things that he just isn't able to see. Because of his pain and his guilt.
Right.
So, not an asshole, but you need to understand kind of where he is.
Yeah.
And that's not always an easy thing to be on an outsider where you see all this stuff and it's really painful to see, but it's not your kid, so you can't,
This is my thing, though. Okay. I get it. And she might have had a rough upbringing and, she wasn't financially stable. She didn't have all of that.
How do you call a handyman back when you haven't even seen where the fucking leak is coming from?
You can't.
That's what I'm saying. So here's the quote. Where's the leak? By the sliding door and kitchen cabinet coming from ? And then the fucking tenant. I haven't seen it myself yet, but I've been told from the ceiling. Like, you haven't seen it yet? You called the handyman back?
What the hell?
Like, how do you do that? What was this about?
Oh my God. This guy has a daughter, Ava. And when he had her, I don't know.
Oh, what's the issue?
So Ava grew up in a poor,
There's nothing more upsetting than these fucking tenants. I'm sorry. What's wrong with Ava? I have an aunt named Ava.
It's not much for Aunt Ava.
Okay, what's up?
But Ava grew up poor, basically, because her dad and her mom at the time weren't in the best financial state, and they were young. He has remarried, her mom remarried, and the person writing this is the dad's new wife. And
stepmom.
Yes. So Ava has taken this personal vendetta against the new daughters because they have a better life growing up, and she technically wants nothing to do with them. And the dad will constantly apologize to her for everything. Anything he buys for his new daughters, he'll be like, I'm just so sorry you couldn't have that. I'm just so sorry you couldn't do that.
Oh, I see. In other words, I wish I could have provided this for you when you were younger.
Kind of, yeah.
Right,
and
okay.
The daughter will always reply with, my childhood didn't matter. My new husband gives me everything I wanted, and my marriage is all that I care for, which ends up hurting the dad's feelings. The cycle repeats itself. So his new wife is asking, if she could please refrain from, apologizing, because it makes not only her uncomfortable, but her daughter's uncomfortable. They're 15 now. And they're every time they get something, they have to hear him apologize. And he's calling her selfish and an asshole because she doesn't understand that. She's saying, am I the asshole for telling him?
Well, she understands it. She's just hurt.
Yeah.
And blames him, probably still for whatever caused that divorce initially between her actual mom and
is the asshole the stepmom for telling him to stop apologizing?
Yes. No. Sorry. No. Yeah. No, because he really doesn't have anything to apologize for.
Yeah.
If he did the best he could back then, and the best he could was A, and now he can do B or C, that's just because he's moved up in the world.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean he loved his first child any less. It's not personal. It's not a vendetta against Ava.
Exactly.
So, but I get it. As a father, you feel guilty. I mean, when my oldest was born, I was not in the same financial position that I'm in today when my youngest was born, So that's it's a harder, I get it, because again, as a parent, you want to feel that you provide equally. You most likely, you love all your kids the same.
But you know, she's 30 now and he's still apologizing for shit like that. I just feel like she needs to let it go.
Yeah, he needs to work through his guilt.
Yeah.
Because it's going to affect.
Because I can say that, me and my brother didn't have the same upbringing. Like my brother, when I was little, my parents didn't speak any English. I didn't have any help with any homework or projects or anything like that. My brother grew up, he had me. He had someone, his life was easier for him. But I wouldn't take it against my brother and be like, oh, it's your fault I didn't have that, and make my parents apologize to me every time he was able to get something. Because at some point it's like, you don't need to apologize. Like I know I'm grateful for the childhood I had and what I had. And if my brother had more, I'm grateful he had the experience to have that and had an easier life. So I just don't understand why she's 30 and still has this personal vendetta against her only sisters that she has and kind of cuts them out. I think that's really selfish of her. And I think she knows that. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think she likes the fact that her dad is guilty about what's going on, because she could easily be like, yes, she's milking it. And especially with her answer, oh, my husband gives me anything. I'm like, my childhood didn't matter. All that matters to me is my marriage. You know what you're doing. You know that it's going to make him feel bad. And you know that he's going to keep apologizing to you. So I don't think the stepmom is the asshole for asking him to stop. I don't think he's the asshole for apologizing to her so much. But I do think Ava is the asshole for dragging it out into her 30s. And I think the dad needs to, like you said, he needs to work through his guilt, and she needs to work through those issues. You're 30 now, and you have to understand your parents gave you what they could. You should be happy your sisters have had it easier than you did, because you know how hard it was to grow up like that.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Mm-hmm. His continually apologizing to her. Well, it's got to be painful to see, just as his wife.
Yeah.
A lot of times, actually, kids who grow up with less end up being way stronger and more resilient.
Exactly.
And so it might help them to see sort of some of the benefits, of not growing up with a lot, because a lot of times when kids have everything handed to them, mm-hmm. they don't appreciate as much. Mm-hmm. They don't work as hard.
Exactly, because they had everything handed.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think the stepmom deserves any dingleberries. I think the dad deserves 1.5 just because of how he blew up at her and called her the asshole. I understand he's probably still working through his guilt 15 years later, but I guess that's just his trauma that we can't talk about. So he gets 1.5. But Ava, for me, she definitely gets at least 3.5 dingleberries.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really manipulating her father's feelings. Yeah, and she's hurting his feelings, and she does it. So she gets 3.5 from me. Dad gets 1.5.
I just don't know if she is completely conscious she's doing that, or if this is just more her own hurt sort of dictating what she does. Because I would give her a little bit lower if this was really more her, mm-hmm. she's just not resolved mm-hmm. whatever anger she has over this new kids, stepsisters, or half sisters, divorce, whatever. That's what it feels like more than anything. She's still processing it, or it's going to be this constant issue, especially if she's 16 and the new kids are 15.
So she's 30 now.
Oh, now,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I missed that part. Sorry. Yeah, fuck her.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I thought she was still a kid.
No.
Oh, yeah, time to get over it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Move the fuck on. You know what? Please, go get fucking filleted. Get something. Get laid.
She has a husband,
but that doesn't mean she's getting laid.
That's true.
Okay, I hate to say it, but sometimes, hubby needs to get in charge and just mm-hmm. lay the pipe and calm her down.
Okay.
Just saying. That's usually a good solution for everything.
I don't think this is going to solve this issue. I think she's just an ass.
You know what it's almost like?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if you've got a 30-something-year-old cringy sister-in-law that still goes out of her way to blame all her problems on you and her actual sister and all the, quote, injustices she's had to suffer. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that.
Almost like that.
You know what else it's almost like?
What is it almost like?
Almost like if you play Mahjong with a girl named Dory who actually has a badanka. No, never mind. It's not like that. Sorry. What's up, girl? All right, let's keep going.
Okay, next one. Title is, Am I the asshole for not accepting the apology of a coworker? A bit of background. My team recently had a rather lengthy online meeting. During lunch break, some of us stayed online to chat a bit. After mentioning my boyfriend, gay relationship, one of the newest coworkers had a very negative rant about homosexuality and homosexual relationships. Despite multiple people telling him to stop talking, he just kept going until the host of the meeting returned. The coworker was pulled out of the meeting the next day, and we were informed that he was getting pulled out of the project and essentially demoted. Our manager also told me that the coworker wants to apologize to me directly in front of the team since his outburst was mostly directed towards me. Also, I'm the only gay man on this team. To the question, I told him and my manager not to bother with any apology since I don't believe it would be sincere in any way and pretty much only motivated to avoid more severe repercussions. That sparked a discussion. My manager and some coworkers told me I should just go with it and let him apologize to let him save some face. Others are saying I'm downright an ass because everyone should have the chance to redeem themselves, and some coworkers agree with me that an insincere apology is worthless. Am I the asshole for not accepting the apology?
I can totally understand that it doesn't seem sincere. It seems forced. And exactly. What is the point of a forced apology? It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. He clearly feels this way about gay people, and he said this in front of everyone already. Your little apology because you were demoted and taken off of the group does not mean it is sincere. I wouldn't accept it.
The only good thing it will do for him is make him look like a better person.
Exactly. And that's what the manager said. Yeah. Like, let him do it. It'll have him save face. I don't want him to save face. Fuck him. I want to punch him in the face. How about that? That's the stance I would take. No. Like, I don't want him to save face. To do it in front of all of my team members, went on a rant about homosexuality as a sin and all of these other shit when he knows I'm gay. And I'm the only gay man in this whole thing. No, fuck him. I'm not letting him save face. I'm not letting him apologize. I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, yeah. This asshole, like, he singled you out.
Exactly.
And went on this rant.
Like he said, I'm the only gay person on this whole team. Yeah. So, no. I'm not the asshole for me. What do you think?
Did you listen to it? No.
You weren't listening.
I'm sorry. There's so much going on with this. What's wrong with Gay Billy?
So he works at a office. They work in teams, and he was talking about him and his boyfriend, and one of the workers started going on this rant in front of everyone in that meeting about how homosexuality is a sin and that was wrong, all of that. So he was pulled out the next day, like from the meeting, and then he was demoted and taken off of the team because of what he said. Now the manager wants the gay Billy to accept the apology from the guy to have him save face. But Billy's like, I don't want an apology. It's unsincere. It's not sincere. Like, he's only doing it because he got demoted and you guys want him to save face, and I don't want to do that. And now everyone's calling him an asshole for not letting him apologize. I don't think he's the asshole.
No, probably not.
Exactly. No. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have a lot to say on this one, honestly. It's just, okay.
Okay. Next
Look, I mean, these kinds of things are stupid. We had a guy a long time ago. His name was Levi.
Your religious one.
Yeah, that was his real name, Levi.
I know.
Yeah, and he was like one of those born agains. And he would, like, in his cubicle, he would have like all the religious pictures up and like scriptures and all that stuff.
Desktop and shit, right?
Yeah, and it made some people uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And like we had one employee who was like an atheist. Who's like, look, I don't really like this. Yeah, there was like issues. So I get it. When people take their like very deep seated personal beliefs and they bring them into the workplace, you got to cut that off.
Yeah,
right away. You can't.
Exactly. Yeah. And as a manager, you can't force them to take the apology, so your worker can save face.
No, not at all. You're not mandated to accept anybody's apology.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
And your job doesn't depend on it, nor should it. And Gay Billy, if you're in California and you get fired for not accepting an apology, hit me up.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Title is: Am I the asshole for apologizing to my mom on behalf of my wife so we could have a smooth family day meetup?
Yes, but no. Yes, but no.
My wife and I have been married for 1.5 years, and we have a 7-month-old toddler. We've both gotten along with our respective in-laws really well and have never had any issues. Well, last week, my wife and my mom had gotten into a verbal spat regarding not sending photos of our son to her. Apparently, my mother-in-law had forwarded some photos from a while back, and my mom was bothered that she had never received those same photos. I wasn't there when the call happened, and I heard two very different sides of the story. According to my wife, my mom said that it's her right as a grandmother to be kept in the loop and my wife's duty to do so. According to my mom, she said she just would like to be included and would also like to be sent photos if possible. Well, we had a family day weekend, got cut short due to the weather, hangout planned with my sister and her family. My sister took my mom's side and we talked about it, and it was clear she thought my wife was in the wrong. On Wednesday, I was talking to my mom and the whole argument got rehashed, and it just slipped out from my mouth that my wife was actually really sorry about what was said. I then pressed my mom to bury the hatchet too. My sister learned about it and was cool with that too. Our get-together at my sister's went well and everyone was cordial. When we got back, my wife said she was pleasantly surprised at how welcoming my sister was, all things considered. She then asked me if I had said anything. I said I had pressed everyone to get over it. She asked if I apologized on her behalf, and I said, yeah, it kind of slipped out, and I just ran with it. She got extremely angry and said she regrets going and now wants me to either make it clear that she's not sorry or that she won't be meeting my mom or sister anymore. I think that now that everyone has gotten over it, what good could that do? I do get her point of view and that she feels like I shouldn't have spoken on her behalf, but I just thought this was, I don't know what the fuck he meant, but he was the one who ended up apologizing and everyone got past it. Am I the asshole for this?
No, this poor guy just wants all the women in his life to get
Yeah, that's why
he's the asshole. He's the asshole.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes and no.
Mom really did not handle that well.
Look, he doesn't have to speak for his wife, and she's capable and all that. I get it. Sometimes though, and it's not just about male female. Like when somebody's on a bender or they're on a vendetta, or they just can't be reasoned with. You know, you just know it's going to get worse. So I would have done the same thing. You know what? I wouldn't even. I would have seriously. I would have, and just fucking move on, right? Because I don't want to be in the middle of all that drama. I'm being serious.
Yeah, no,
especially
I would have been pissed though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, you know,
like I never said up. I apologize to that dumb bitch. I didn't say that shit. Don't tell her I did. The fuck. Fuck you and your mom. That would have been my response. Fuck you and your mother and your sister and everyone who comes on that side that you made believe I apologize. I didn't. I would do up one more than what she wants. I would make a group chat and I'd be like, I just want to say, it's still fuck all of you guys. I never said I was sorry. And my husband lied to all of you guys. You guys should take it up with him. Because no. That's what I think.
The mom is really stupid to start this whole fight to begin with.
Exactly. So, and then the fact that he said she was sorry just gave her away. Yeah. And that's the issue here. So, no.
Again, I understand why Lucinda's mad. Mm-hmm. And I understand why Billy did it. Mm-hmm. And I tend to lean more on Billy's side because I think the practical effect is justified somewhat, but I get it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not awarding dingleberries for that.
Oh, I am. Mother-in-law gets 5 because she just sounds very annoying and a bitch. The son gets 3 because he sounds like a pussy and a bitch. Because he couldn't stand his mom not getting along with his wife. Oh, poor boy. Oh, fuck you.
You don't know how bad that could be. If he is working 10, 12 hours a day and he's being pulled in all different directions from his wife and his mother, you know what? I'd also reach my wits end and I try to resolve it as quickly as possible, even for my own fucking peace of mind and sanity. Sometimes you just got to take the hit.
Oh, well.
Just saying.
I still think he's a bitch.
I'm just saying.
He is a bitch, but I have a little sympathy for him.
It's all, you know what that's almost like?
What is it almost like?
Almost like when your actual wife asks you to apologize to your cringy sister-in-law just to do it, just so that future problems can be abated.
Exactly.
Almost like that. Exactly. I don't think she would actually do it, but just in case. Exactly. It's almost like almost.
Mm-hmm. Almost.
No, I'm saying if
sister-in-law.
Right.
Sister-in-law.
Wow.
We're
the one thing fucking HR picks up on is the use of like
woman brains. I like it.
Damn.
I like it though. I like it. She was quick on
Yes,
that.
I was referring to somebody else.
That's all she heard was like, you don't have a wife.
I know. Goddamn.
Yeah. I see. I like that.
One day I'll tell you the story about La Cienega Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
Or no, La Cienega, Beverly Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
In front of the South Beverly Grill.
Oh, okay. Okay. Next one?
Go ahead.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my sister it's too late for apologies now? My sister and her 2 kids moved in with us after she was facing homelessness after being evicted from her place. She has become very clingy with me. I have to repeatedly tell her my wife and I are not watching your kids. Sounds like someone? We gave you a place to stay. We have to constantly remind her to clean up after her and her children and not let her kids destroy things. She's been envious of my wife and I every time we go out and has made comments like, oh, that must be really nice. If my wife buys new clothes or something designer, she also will say this. She has been repeatedly talked to about this and told to stop. Well, last night, my wife and I went on a date to go out to see a live show and get sushi. My sister was waiting up for us. It was almost like 1 a.m. And then when we got home, she yelled at us about how we didn't bring her or her kids anything to eat. How it's so mean that we flaunt our lifestyle while her kids and her are struggling. And the least we could do is bring her and her kids something to eat. It's 1 a.m. Her kids aren't even fucking awake. My sister says she deserves a little treat time to herself and to stay around the home, I guess. I don't know. My wife flipped on her and told my sister she needs to move out ASAP and she doesn't want her toxic ass in the home anymore. And if she's not out in 30 days, she will be getting the court and child services involved to remove them from our home. And my wife told my sister how she's mentally unstable and an unfit mother. My sister acted like I would protect her and she called my wife a bitch, saying that I would never let that happen. I told my sister my wife could do what she wants. It's her home too. My sister is now the one who made herself unwelcome. She didn't apologize, but she made us breakfast this morning. And my wife threw the plate of food away and told my sister 29 days. My wife left to go speak to one of her cousins who was a lawyer this morning, and my sister acted all innocent in front of her kids, who could tell their aunt's attitude was off. My sister tried apologizing to me after my wife left, and I told her it's probably too late to apologize now because my wife is getting the official paperwork now. Am I the asshole for this?
Okay. So the sister was living there?
Yeah, so sister was facing homelessness, her and her kids. So they let them move in there. And they were like, that's fine. That wasn't the problem.
And then they're making them feel guilty about all this stuff that they were doing.
Every time, like she tries to leave her kids with them. She thinks that they're free babysitters. And they told her multiple times, we're not going to keep watching your kids. And then
that sounds familiar.
That's why I was like, doesn't that sound familiar?
Well, now's your time for this.
Exactly.
Cringy sister-in-law.
And then anytime they go somewhere, she'd be like, oh, that's probably so nice to be able to go out with each other and not have to be home all the time. And then when she blew up on them, they basically, his wife basically was like, yeah, you have 30 days to get out of here.
I'm wondering if this is written by someone we know.
Right? Right? It sounds very familiar. I promise this was real on Reddit. I didn't write this. I promise you.
I'm gonna let you take the first. It's almost like. Come on, girl. You graduated to it. Come on, it's your time.
It's almost like when your sister-in-law has a daughter, but the daughter doesn't have a dad in her life. So no one else can watch her when she wants to have wine time. And she just expects you to take care of it because you also have a son that's around her age. And the little girl just wants to have time with her cousin while the mom has wine time. It's almost like that.
Almost. That's pretty good. What about you, HR? Is it almost like something you could think of?
No.
You want to get the next one?
No, not really. I mean, I guess it's almost like when you book a cruise and
the next
give yourself a nice room and your cringy sister-in-law somehow manipulates the use of her child to come in to have a sleepover so that she can
so nice to do
play so she can play slot machines and have wine time and then sleep on a nice room in a bigger bed.
Exactly.
And have access to like this private pool deck.
Exactly.
It's almost like that.
Exactly. And you know, when she said like the food, they should have brought food home. It's almost like when you buy stuff, but then your sister-in-law just eats it all.
All your leftovers. All the good ones.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It is almost like that too.
It is.
I could do this all day.
I know.
Oh my God.
This one was such a good one. I know. But asshole or no asshole? We're kicking them out.
Probably not in this case. I mean, it's going to create bad blood.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to make the problem go away. But, I don't know. I think they were in a bit of an impossible situation at that point. The
wife is funny, though. When she made breakfast to apologize the next day, and the wife just took the plate, threw it away, and said 29 days. And now it's not 30, it's 20. I thought that was great. Honestly, I thought that was great from the wife. I thought it was funny. So,
Just sounds like a person to be reckoned with.
She does, and I like her. So, I don't think the husband, that's his sister, I don't think he was the asshole for telling her it's too late to apologize. It is, especially on the fact that the sister didn't apologize to his wife after she called her a bitch. And all of those other names, she only apologized to her brother. And that was where she also was wrong. So I don't think her apology was sincere. I think her apology is just because she knows she has 30 days to figure out how she's going to live on her own now.
Yeah, no, the sister and the wife obviously hate each other.
Yeah. So I give the sister 5 dingleberries for doing all of that in someone else's home when they were gracious enough to let you and your kids show up there and do all of that there. So I think she has 5 dingleberries. And I think it's 0 on the filming scale for me for the sister, because that you have to be no shame there and being like, you could take care of my kids so I can have time alone.
If you're a guest in someone's house, you don't go putting them down.
Exactly. I think wife probably gets like 1 dingleberry just because, like, what if she can't find a place for her and her 2 kids? That means like the nieces are going to be homeless and all of that,
Yeah, I can't imagine actually kicking children out of the house.
And then she's like, and if you don't leave, I'll call child services.
Well, that's a douchey thing, but I think a lot of that's just emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know that she'd actually do it. But
I give her 1 dingleberry for that.
She would do it.
I think she would do it. That's the thing. Yeah. She sounds kind of... So I think she would. So I'm going to give her 1 dingleberry for doing all of that. She hasn't done it yet. So.
All right. She hasn't. That's like the other one, too. If she actually does, I think it would require some more.
And that's the difference.
It's still pretty
the
fucked
sister
up.
actually did all of this shit already. So. Thoughts?
Well, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one then?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many we got?
Last one.
Okay, last one. All right.
Am I the asshole for ripping up my brother's apology letter and screaming at him to leave me alone and we aren't family? Okay. When I was 17, I was in a relationship with my twin brother's best friend, Jake, that lasted 8 years. So we all finished college, and my ex had gotten enough money. Wait. Lasted 8 years till we were all finished with college, and my ex had gotten through enough money of his extremely religious parents to get a head start in life. She said, if you don't get where this is going, my brother and Jake were together the whole time and used me as a cover because my feelings didn't matter for 8 years.
Oh, okay. So she was the beard.
Yes. In her brother and his best friend's relationship when she was also dating Jake. Supposedly.
Yeah, but she might have known already. I mean,
she said she didn't. That's the thing.
Oh,
she
okay.
Didn't.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. So Jake is bi. You want to tell me in 8 years
they
didn't hit it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they were in college already.
I mean, for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Okay.
Said my brother had been out since his teens, which is why they came up with the idea to use me so that Jake's parents wouldn't get suspicious. My parents were angry with my brother and even cut contact for a year, but they all made up and had been pushing since for us to speak. I refused to speak to my brother due to how they dismissed me and how everything came out. Jake literally said, "You just wouldn't understand. I had no other choice." My brother was worse. Like, I get where Jake was coming from because his parents are nuts, but I didn't deserve to be treated like that and not from my brother. It's been 5 years since everything came out, and I'm currently pregnant with twins with my soon-to-be husband. My brother and Jake moved back to our hometown last year, and they both have been trying via my family/friends, even coworkers, to get me to talk. My mother begged me to sit down like an adult and not to let the past ruin my son's chance at having a relationship with their uncle. That the hate I have for my only sibling is ruining our family and my mental health. A few hours ago, I stopped by for lunch and to show my parents scanned photos, and guess who was there? A happy couple. I was literally in shock for a few minutes, and then my brother tried to hug me. I pushed him away, and I got so worked up I physically couldn't stop shaking at my brother and Jake trying to apologize. And she wanted to talk about what happened and begged me for a relationship. I was in tears, and I begged them to leave me alone. And my brother handed me a letter and said, "I really wish things could be different. You're my sister, my twin, and I do love you, and it kills me that we don't have each other anymore." So basically, I lost it, and I ripped up the letter screaming that we weren't family anymore, and I just wanted him to leave me alone. I walked out after that, and I had to get me a taxi home because I was so upset to drive, since my parents and family members have told me I'm cruel and bitter, that I need to stop living in the past and get over it. Am I the asshole for this?
It's actually a little bit harder than I first thought it was.
I'm going to say she's a little asshole because she can't write. This was written so poorly.
It's written emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
She might have written this like right after that happened.
Maybe. It might be because it was really everywhere.
Yeah.
So it took me a second to get everything together.
Yeah.
But
look, she's in a rough spot, especially if she was like unwittingly part of this cover up
for 8 years.
And essentially used, to be the fodder, the blocker for the relationship.
Like, it literally sounds like they used her until he could get on his feet. Like, they graduated college, all of that. He had a career, and then they told her.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was planned like that.
Yeah, because he said his parents were nuts, and he couldn't tell his parents he was gay.
No, I know, but in other words, what I'm saying is I don't know if the money part really had a lot to do with, other than maybe they were at a point where they could support themselves and they didn't need his parents' financial support for college. Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
They kept it under wraps to not disturb the financial aspect of the support he was getting to be in school. Mm-hmm. But for Lucinda, that's a really hard reality to have to come into, especially when it's your own brother perpetrating it against you.
Yeah.
So my heart kind of goes out to her.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, though, for Billy and Gay Billy, or Bi Billy and Jake or whatever, my heart kind of goes out to them too, because the heart wants what the heart wants. And if they're in a place where this is not widely accepted, or if they're part of a family that would shun them or not accept them or cut them off or whatever, disown them.
Yeah.
That's a really hard decision to have to make.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody was sort of in an impossible situation. The only reason why I'm siding a bit more towards Lucinda is she wasn't given the choice.
Exactly.
Right. She was just being lied to.
Exactly.
Right. If they had sat down with her and said, "Look, I'm bi, and your brother and I, your twin brother and I are in a very deep, loving relationship. And in fact, I only do this with you because I need to keep up appearances." Like, if they had sat down and said, "Look, I need you to keep this between us," it might have gone differently. But
maybe in the beginning too.
Well, right. Yeah. But my point is, I understand the hesitancy because this could have been such a big blow up and the risk, right? And it's not even the money risk, the loss of family, community, being shunned, having your people turning their back to you. If these are fundamentalists like the family, I'm guessing that because they're like super religious family, that's a really hard one. It's actually a really good last one because there is no easy, to me, at least.
This is the thing. And I completely agree with you, right? That this was kind of what they had to do if they lived in that town. It did not have to be one of the persons involved's sister. And that is the part where they could use anyone else for a cover. You used your sister for that. And you let your sister get emotionally attached to this man and have a relationship with this man when you knew what you were doing. And that's the only part that I don't think I could get over. Because that's your brother. And that's her twin brother at that. Like, they're literally half of a whole, supposedly. That's what twins are. You're supposed to... I would never do this to my brother. Like, that's just what I'm saying. Even if I was backed against the wall, I would use someone else as the cover or the beard, as they call it. I would never do it to my sibling.
Yeah.
And he didn't feel bad for 8 years. That's fucked up.
No, I don't know. We don't know if he... Hold on. We don't know if he felt bad or not.
That's true.
But it also could be that he didn't think he could trust anybody else with this. Like, he couldn't use someone else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah.
Again, if they're from a small town or from a fundamentalist community, where everybody knows everybody. We just don't know. I mean, look, if they're from New York City, right, or something like, or
like
LA,
right,
or like, like they live in Santa Monica,
exactly.
like it's right. But I'm guessing by the way this was written that there's much more stigma attached to this, and he just may not have felt. Doesn't mean he didn't have choices. He just didn't feel like he did.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, because her brother has been out since he was 12. So they were, and their family accepted that her brother was gay. It was Jake's family that didn't. So it's like, I don't think they might have been in a state that didn't. They just might have, Jake just probably had religious parents. Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, again, there's so many. So it's hard. But look, there's definitely dingleberry worthiness here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard for me to assign a number. Honestly, there's a part of me that's like, you know what? That's a double jelly roll. How do you do that to your sister? Just like what you're saying. Twin sister.
Yeah.
Right? Because twins have that connection that's a little different. Right?
They're half of a whole.
Right. But on the other hand, it's like, what else do you do? Right? If that circumstances are what I think they are, maybe that was the path of least resistance, so to speak, or that he thought at least that could have caused the least amount of damage, and maybe because his twin is of the same generation, the same age.
Yeah.
She might have been a bit more understanding. I mean, it's hard to know what's going through his head. So at the same time, I can give him 1 for like, look, that's kind of fucked up, but I understand, like, fucked up decisions come from when you don't really know what to do or what to say or to who.
I'm going to go at 2.5 just because that's the half, right? So half because we don't know if he felt bad. And, if he did, like you said, that might have been all. So I'm going to give him 2.5. We'll go in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. But he should have left out. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to really know,
Well,
but their situation was
let me take a drive over to the Feldman scale.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a whole other ball.
No, that is a whole other ballpark, yeah.
This is a solid 0.
Oh, yes.
This is the most shameless. You basically use your sister as a beard in your gay or bisexual relationship in order to maintain financial support by the religious zealot's family up until the point where you don't need the money anymore. And then you're like, yo, guess what? I suck dick. Right? Like,
well, when you put it that way.
But that, look, you know what?
Also weird.
It's like that.
Wait, sorry to bring this up. They were both sleeping with Jade. Like, his sister was sleeping with the
that is
kind
of
weird.
Sleeping
with. I didn't think of that till right
weird.
now, and I was like, wait.
Was she was actually sleeping with him?
Well, I mean, they were
together 8 years.
They were just pretending.
No, they started dating when they were 17.
She didn't know.
She didn't know, Jen. She didn't know at all.
Right. Now, the only thing maybe is if he was, okay, it doesn't say this, but I can extrapolate from, again, the religious zealot family. Maybe he never did it with her, and he's like, look, we got to wait till marriage. I'm religious.
Oh, maybe. Hopefully,
maybe he just said that, right.
Hopefully.
And then, because I think, honestly, I should say, I feel like if that wasn't the case, and if he was, if she was getting it, too, she would have said something. She would have said, I feel disgusted. I'm sharing a man with my brother. Something.
Yeah. So but she said she didn't know. They came out.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So I almost feel like he was like, look, I'm religious.
Yeah.
I love you. We got to wait till we're married.
No, she did. She said, he fully asked me to be his girlfriend, and we were living together and did couples things. So, yeah.
Well, okay. That could mean dinner parties.
She said, it gives me the ick. We lived together for 2 years, and that everything we did gives me the ick.
Okay. Never mind. All right. So clearly so so you know what? She and her brother sampled the same dick.
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that's almost like?
I don't even know what that's almost like, honestly. Enlighten me. What is that almost like?
I'm curious how you're going to work this in.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have
exactly. I was like, honestly,
I want to try to throw one more in, but I got nothing on this one. I can't.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? Sorry. Well, it's almost like if you have like a badonkador in your Maj group, but it turns out she has a penis and like you just don't like she's trans or something. She's not. I don't know. I'm just
no, but I don't even think it would be the same.
Yeah, that was kind of forced.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's it. That ends it. I think, like I said, sister's not the alpha here. I don't think she's the alpha for not accepting his apology though. We didn't rate her. We rated.
Yeah, I know. Probably not. I mean, again, that's just such a hard thing to have to hear, and to know that you were essentially being used and pretty much lied to. I didn't catch the part where they lived together and they went all out. I had thought
I'm reading her comments.
Oh, okay.
That's
so,
how I found out.
Yeah, because when I was first thinking about it as part of the post, it's like maybe he was like hands off with her, and he was just using religion as the reason, but really it's because he was just attracted to the brother. But it sounds like either he was not by, but doing things just to keep up the right, which is probably even worse.
Yeah.
Because at least if he was truly bisexual, you know, maybe she could feel a little bit better about the idea that his feelings might have been genuine for her.
That too, exactly.
Because young hormones work, you know, either way. Listen, when you're a 21-year-old male, the fucking breeze gets you hard sometimes. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Oh my God.
No, not quite like that. But I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just, you do what you got to do because clearly his relationship with brother Billy was super important to him. So.
Oh, someone asked her if they would have asked her to just be the fake girlfriend, would she have done it? Like, do you think that's why they didn't tell you? And she was like, we had a really close relationship with my brother to the point that she's like, I knew he was gay, and if he would have asked me, I would have done it. So,
that's sad.
Yeah.
You know.
She's like,
by the way, the irony isn't lost on me that we call him Billy and the guy's name is Jake. What are those two initials?
BJ.
Thank you.
So
yeah. Well, all right. So that was an interesting one.
It was, wasn't it?
You know, apology fails or whatever, or like reasons to get mad at apologies and all that. So you know, appreciate it again. We're on a week to week sort of thing. Scheduling wise, it feels like every time we feel like we've got a little bit of downtime, something comes up.
Yeah.
You know, like these fucking tenants of mine now, whatever. It never ends. But having said all that, again, appreciate the support. Sorry about the last episode. Pretty sure this one's going to come out sounding better. Yes. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'll upgrade our equipment again. In the meantime, Hurricane.
Yes.
Tell them where they can find us.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate the support. Remember, you can find us on Instagram at the Pensama Confirm. You can find our podcast Instagram at the Late Podcast. You can visit our Twitter and TikTok at Pensama Confirm. You can visit our website at ablawfirm.us, and you can email us at info@ablawfirm.us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.